The Evergreen Media Network Studio, powered by Scott Tree Services.
Hola, bienvenidos nuevamente a Whatever with Lu Navarro. I'm your host, Lu Navarro. I'm a realtor. I am un agente de bienes raíces with REMAX Crown Realty. You can connect with me by following me in my social media. Puedes conectar siguiéndome en mis redes sociales. You can find me as Lu Navarro, the realtor. And today, we're diving into one of the most critical factors when buying a home if you are financing your credit. But before we get to that, I want to share with you a little bit about REMAX and why we are the most trusted real estate agency in the U.S. and also locally. REMAX continue to set the standards in real estate, reinforcing its position as the industry leader. And as you can see in the chart, we are at 36.4% in brand awareness, which means that across the U.S., more buyers and sellers think of REMAX than any other real estate agency or brand. And also here you can see some facts and data on local stats from April 30th, 2023 to March 31st, 2024. And that also states the REMAX leadership. In the whole Brevard County, you can see that we stand at 14.84% of market share of listing sold, where the next builder or real estate agency it is sitting at 5.88%. And in the city of Sebastian, in the Indian River County, REMAX has a 36.07% of market share of listing sold, which it is very amazing, with the next real estate agency or builder being at only 5.15%. So as you can see, we are, without doubt, one of the most trusted real estate agencies leading the local market as well. At REMAX Crown Realty, we are not only striving to seek our customers' expectation, but we also provide a highly professional and personalized service that is tailored to each of your needs. And, we here in REMAX Crown Realty are very much involved with the community, with more than 30 years being established here locally. Now, going back to today's topic of taking control of your credit, a good credit score, as you know, can, open many doors. And especially when you're trying to buy a home and securing a mortgage with favorable mortgage rates, right, or terms. But let's face it, life happens. And, whether it's due to unforeseen medical expenses or because you lost your job, or, any financial changes, many of us, many times, may not have that perfect score that is required to buy a home or to do other stuff. The good news is that bad credit is not forever, and it's not a life sentence. And, there are many dedicated credit repair services out there that can assist you in improving your credit score, and getting back to your goal of achieving homeownership, right? And today we will be discussing the role of credit repair services in helping you achieve that goal. So let's get started by welcoming Natalie Toro Camilo. She is the credit queen, and she's with Credit Pulse, and I want to thank you so much for coming. Welcome, Natalie.
Thank you so much for having me this morning, Lou.
I know you have a headache, so I do appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
All right, and so before we get to any nitty-gritty of what your services are, can you give us a little bit of background on how did you get into credit repair counseling, and what motivated you to helping other people with their credit issues? I know you personally for a couple of years now, so I know there is a story out there. So can you share it with us?
Yes, absolutely. Around 5 years ago, I found myself and I had lost everything. My little girl had gotten sick, and I not only lost my cars, I mean, you name it, I lost it. And I couldn't even finance a pack of gum. And I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to get out of this? And now my partner at the time, Tamari Story Harden, he said, Natalie, I can help you. And I said, there's no way that you can help me. Like someone like me that has so much on there. And he said, I can help you. And 5 years ago, he did just what he said he was going to do, and he helped me. And I got over every single credit challenge that there was.
Wow, that's a nice story. So, sometimes we get motivated by stuff that happened to us. So you are proof of that, right?
Yes.
So, could you tell us what exactly does credit repair entails?
Okay. The first thing that I do is I never say bad credit to anybody. I say credit challenges. It could be anything as such as like, a medical bill, a credit card, a car. There's so many things that can be reported on the credit, reporting inaccurately, error, or fraudulent. There's a lot of times that you could have something we call a mixed file, that you could have someone else's one social off that could be reporting on your credit. So what I do is I typically take a look at the whole entire credit profile and see what exactly is yours and what exactly is not yours. And that's when I begin to challenge it, the things that aren't yours that's on the credit profile.
Yeah, that's also happening a lot with common names.
Absolutely.
Which Latin has a lot of common names, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
All right.
Absolutely. And sometimes the client may not even be aware of things that are on the credit that are not there. So that's what I take a look at, the actual profile at the very beginning.
Okay. Awesome. So if somebody comes to you and say, Natalie, what can I do, to take care of improving my score right away? What would you say to them?
The first thing that I'm going to tell them to do on their own is making sure that they pay all their current bills on time, whether it's a car payment or it's a credit card, because I can help you along the way. But just getting in the habit of paying your current bills on time is a big factor with trying to overcome those credit challenges. Your habits have got to change.
Yeah, so that means that, even if it means only to make the minimum payment, that will be better than doing nothing.
That's exactly correct. Even if you can't make, a double payment or a larger payment, I'm okay with that, making that minimum payment on time, even if it's 1 penny off. Those creditors will put a late payment on your credits.
Of course, because you are not paying, what they are asking you to.
That is correct.
All right. So, can you explain a little bit, in a nutshell, what the credit repair process is from start to finish?
Okay. When a client comes to me, whether it's from a lender or a realtor, I take a look at their complete credit profile off of a monitoring system, which is not a hard impact. I start going and I look at the positive and I look at the negative, exactly what's on it. And I typically say it's going to take about 1 to 4 months, going after the negative that's on the credit. Sometimes we do need to add some positive trade lines, something that has history. But I typically don't start working on that until about the second month. I typically start to work on the negative first, and then I start building out the credit profile. But a turnaround time is approximately 1 to 4 months.
So if somebody wants to go, they're thinking about planning to buy a house, but they see that there is some stuff that they need to work on their credit, they should be doing it with, I would say, to be fair, about a year or so before they do that, so they get ready for the process of buying a house?
I typically am going to give a lesser time frame. I think I want to give a maximum of 1 to 6 months on a credit profile. There's like a lot of misconception that people think it's going to take years or it's going to take a year. Maybe with other companies, it might take a little bit longer, but I attack that a file at the very beginning. I tell the client exactly what their part is and what my part is. So I want to say a longest a file could take if they do their part is 1 to 6 months. But again, I want to say a minimum is about 1 to 4 months.
Yeah. So what's the worst that a credit can have?
I have seen scores at in the 300 range.
I mean, but on the sense of what took them to get there.
Whether it's a repossession, it's a lien, a judgment, a bankruptcy, it is so easy for things to go on the credit report and just letting things go and, ignoring things in the mail and not responding to anything. And I would just, again, to ask that question to me again, Lou, so I can kind of better understand you and kind of explain to
what
client.
I'm saying is somebody that has a bad credit, what can lead for them to have such a bad credit? You already said repossession.
So kind of just sometimes people get very depressed, and they kind of ignore things. It could be an illness that they had, or it could be a family member that they had. And sometimes when people see one thing go on there and two things, they kind of just give up hope. And they just don't care, and they just continue to let bad credit haunt them. But I'm here to encourage them that don't sleep on it. Reach out for help. You can ask me any kind of question that you have, and I'm always going to be there. If you don't start credit repair, I'm always going to encourage you that there is hope. And pressing the restart button, I didn't just press a restart button once. I pressed it 2 times. Right. So I want to encourage them to don't sleep on it. Reach out to me, ask questions. And when a creditor comes, to your door, to your house, don't ignore those things. Reach out for help, because there is hope and there is light at the end of the tunnel.
All right. Let's take a break, and then we'll be right back.
Are you becoming a realtor, contractor, mold remediator, guardian? In the state of Florida, these and many other industries require a Level 2 live scan background check for clearance to work in your industry. A1A Fingerprints is your certified live scan source from Broward to Brevard. And if you're a medical provider, you need to be registered on the ACA web portal. A1A Fingerprints will help you navigate and comply with the law. Call 772-494-6556 or visit a1afingerprints.com. A1A Fingerprints.
Hey, you! Host your very own show every week at Evergreen Media Network in Vero Beach. Go live to YouTube and Facebook with up to 4 people and your very own producer. Be heard on more than 15 podcast platforms and local radio. All you have to do is show up and talk. Your guests can join from anywhere in the world. It's easy to get started with the largest podcast studio on the Treasure Coast. Contact Evergreen Media to tour the studio.
All right, and we are back. Going back to Natalie, what are the most frequent questions that somebody comes to you and ask?
Can you really help me?
And can you?
I actually can. I actually have a guarantee myself and my company, Your Credit Pulse, of a guarantee a majority of the negative items will come off. If not, the client gets their money back. Now, all companies do not stand behind their work, and all companies do not have a guarantee. But because I've been doing it 5 years solid. My partner's been doing it 18 years. We are very confident that we will get you from start to finish. I also work with the client one-on-one, getting you mortgage ready. Most credit repair companies, they do not work with you one-on-one. But because I start to build that relationship, these clients become my friends and my family at the end. And I'm going to push for you to become that homeowner, just like I did for myself.
And I always, I think that me as a realtor and you as a credit repair service, I always tell my clients, this is a teamwork. So we really need to work closely when we are trying to get to that goal, achieve that goal. So I guess that, when they're working with you, they have to really be a team with you.
That's exactly correct. I use team effort. You have to do your part, paying your bills on time. I also do a little bit extra than what most credit companies do. I actually work with the lender and the realtor, working from start to finish, giving you an update every 35 days on how far that client has come and how much more that they need to do in order for them to become home ownership. And I will be with the client from start to finish. And if I can, and I know that realtor, I'm going to be there with them to celebrate with that realtor and lender at the closing table.
Can you share any success story, or can you tell us what transformation have you seen in people's life after improving their credit score?
I have seen people not be able to even get a car in their name, not get get a credit card. They're able to basically press the restart button and get a second and third chance at life, even to get a $300 credit card. They're so excited because they haven't been able to achieve that on their own, or the other companies haven't been able to help them. So I truly put a smile on these clients' face when they don't think that they can achieve it. And I tell them everything at the beginning. I promise you, if you listen to me from start to finish, you are going to achieve every goal that you set out to be. Sometimes they doubt, and sometimes they think, no, there's never hope, but there is hope for every client.
So on regard to this, I have had many clients work with Natalie. So I know when they feel frustrated because they have a low credit score, and then all of a sudden, when they achieve the goal of homeownership and they get the keys, they can't believe that came true. So yeah, I know it works. And I do thank you for your service, Natalie.
No, you're so very welcome.
You ease out our work, our job as realtors. And so if you could give only one piece of advice to someone, what would that be that have problems with the credit?
That it's okay to press the restart button. It's okay that you have credit challenges, because everybody comes from all walks of life, and you never know when you're going to be that same person that's going to have those credit challenges in life. And I would say just be encouraged, and that there's going to be hope. It's just about you reaching out to me and you asking me questions, can you help me? Because some think that there's no hope for them. There's always going to be hope. And again, everybody's situation is different. I've seen credit scores in the 300 range, and I've seen credit scores in the 700 and 800 range. So again, everybody has different walks of life. And I've also seen people in the 800 range that has had to come to me because they had a sickness and they got some medical, bills on their credit. So again, I just want to encourage each and every person. If you don't reach out, I'm never going to know your situation, and you're never going to know if I can help you or not.
All right. What makes you different from any other credit service?
That's actually a very good question, Lou, because there is many credit companies that they charge monthly fees because it's a little bit more suitable. But what happens with those companies is they charge you those monthly fees, $99 or $150. They go after one credit bureau at a time, because they're going to take your money, and those files can take a year, a year and a half. We actually go after all three credit bureaus at the same time, as well as the original debitor and the collection agency that's sitting on the left, the second and third party collection. So we don't just go after one bureau and one item. We attack all three credit bureaus at the same time.
Awesome. So how can people get in touch with you?
Okay, they can either call me at 772-971-2209, or they can email me at natalie@yourcreditpulse.com. But for a quicker response, it's text me and I will get right back with you.
All right. So today I believe that I wanna direct messages to the young generation. I feel like they really have to take charge of their finances. There is so much help out there, and there is so many tools that you can reach in order to get to be in charge of your finances. So get yourself educated. As they always say, knowledge is power. So go ahead and conquer that. And thank you, Natalie. Thank you again. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, just please subscribe, share, write me. You can leave a comment. You can contact me at 954-205-0700. Stay connected with us. And, in social media, we always do updates and more content. But Natalie, do you want to say something before we go?
Yes, I do want to add, because of the younger generation and me having my oldest that's 19, that his credit is now in the 800s. So if you have a client and they're younger and they're needing to get home ownership, but they don't have any established credit, I can actually build out those credit profiles for them by adding some positive trade lines and building that out, because I would treat them just like I would my son. And as I built out his profile, I would love to do it, for the younger generation. And a lot of times, if you come to me, I do not charge anything for a teenager or a 19-year-old in order to build that profile out for them.
Wow, that's awesome. So, thank you again, Natalie.
You're so very welcome.
And then, like I said, stay connected with me. You can follow me on social media. I always post videos, content, to get yourself educated and informed. So until next time, whatever with Lu Navarro, take care and keep pursuing your dreams. Y recuerda, yo hablo tu idioma. Chao, chao.